Hi, everyone. Welcome to this round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I am JB, sitting at the desk, and as you can see out there in gorgeous Seattle, it's Steve Cishek taking your questions. Steve, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
It should be a blast. Fans, you know how this works. And if not, I'm going to walk you through it right now, and then you'll learn. So here's the deal. Get your device fired up. Use the MLB Fans app and ask Steve a question directly. Then I will just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show like everybody else. In the meantime, I'm going to use Twitter, and I'm going to use the MLB Fans app to get your questions to Steve while fans get fired up. I'm going to go to the MLB Fans app now for this one. Steve, this is from Walden45. Which teammate is keeping the clubhouse loose?
Man, you can go anywhere with that. You know, Seager keeps it pretty loose. Dyson's always chirping. Valencia is sneaky witty. I mean, all these guys, you know, they just make the clubhouse loose for us. And, you know, right now we're playing well, and it's even that much more fun. When you win, the game's a lot more fun.
That's awesome. It sounds like a great team. And the sneaky witty guys, the guys you got to watch out for, folks. There's the one that'll get you to laugh at the wrong time, so pay attention to that. Fan joins us
Absolutely.
here in the cage. What is your name, and what is your question for Steve?
Hey, Steve, it's Jared from Redondo Beach, California. I was just wondering, what's your most memorable moment so far in your baseball career?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, it's probably when I got a chance to play for Team USA in the WBC back in 2013. We didn't fare too well. I think we went 3-3 in the tournament, but just to be able to represent your country, you know, playing the game that you grew up loving and still playing it, you know, it just meant a lot to me. And it was probably it's definitely my favorite baseball moment for sure.
The WBC, a great event, and yeah, 2013 didn't go exactly the way you wanted to, but that is a tremendous time. So, Jared, thanks for the question. Folks, be like Jared. Get your device fired up and ask Steve a question directly. I'm going to ask the EDJ question of the day. We're talking about 2013. I'm going to talk about a more recent game. Steve, how was that comeback yesterday?
Oh, it was awesome, man. I mean, you know, from going to possibly getting a perfect game thrown against you to coming back within 2 innings after that and putting together a 3 and a 4 run inning and take the lead, it was incredible. And you know, since I've been here, even last year, we have the flair for the dramatic from the 7th inning on, and as you could see last night, that's just kind of our MO.
All right, well, it was an exciting game as fans watched that unfold. I'm sure from your point of view, it was incredibly exciting. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. Another fan steps in to ask Steve a question. What's your name, and what is your question?
Hey, I'm Kevin, and Steve, you just talked about it right there, but I mean, obviously, great comeback last night, but it didn't seem so at the beginning. What were you guys thinking going into the 6th inning there with Verlander being perfect and all?
When are we going to get our first hit? You know, we didn't know who was going to do it or how it was going to be done, but someone had to step up, and Dyson, thankfully, I mean, he got the fire started. You can tell, you know, Verlander wasn't happy with the bunt, but hey, it's only the 6th inning, you know, and we're still trying to win a ball game, and got him into the stretch for the first time all game, and you know, we just reaped havoc after that. So it was a fun game, and then also, you know, watching Edwin close it out. That's his 4th day in a row pitching. I don't think many people take notice to that, and that's hard to do. To be that sharp, it was just hats off to Edwin, you know, for closing that game out as well.
That game had a little bit of everything, and one of the reasons baseball is so amazing is, man, you'll see something new every single time, and that game had just about all of it. Great hat tip, too, to your teammate there for another close. I go back to the MLB Fans app. We talk about teammates. Let's talk about this one. El Marinero, 24, wants to know, yo, Steve, how is it like pitching the same staff with the King, and have you learned anything from him?
It's been awesome. You know, he's just watching him throughout, you know, my career, even before I made it into pro ball. It's, you know, he's something special. So being around him every day, getting to know his personality, it's been a lot of fun. He's a fun guy, you know, off the field, but you know, as you can see, when he's in between the lines, he's nothing but a gamer, and that's someone that you want to take the 5th ball every day. And so it's been a lot of fun, you know, getting to watch him compete on a daily basis.
An absolute one of the just greats in baseball, and so it must be something to watch from that close up. Another fan, a pair of fans joins us. It's a family. We love that in the cage. What's your names, and what's your question for Steve?
Hi, I'm Tony, and this is my daughter Emily. We're in South Florida here. Steve, you've always been my daughter's favorite baseball player, but our question specifically is, what was it like for you and your family the first time in your career that you were traded specifically from the Marlins?
Yeah. Oh, wow. You know, it was really tough. I was drafted by the Marlins, you know, back when we were the Florida Marlins in 2007. Came up as a Florida Marlin. You know, I was there for the transition and to the new stadium. they were a family to me, and they gave me an opportunity to pitch and fulfill my dreams in the big league. So it was really difficult at first. At the time the season wasn't going so well for the team. It really wasn't going so well for myself either. It was just a trying time. And as for the family, it was tough because I wasn't doing so well. My wife was feeling it. She just felt bad for me, but she also saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I got traded, got a new opportunity to go to a playoff contender, so that was fun. However, the transition, people don't realize this, when you get traded, especially when you have a family, is the transition to another city. It's all on my wife to take care of it. I have to pack my bag. I was in San Diego and just leave and play baseball. She has to take care of the rest. So she was a trooper. I mean, I couldn't thank her more whenever she showed up to St. Louis. And, she's what holds this family together. So I was certainly thankful for her. That's a great question. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, Tony and Emily, thanks for that. Beautifully said by Steve, talking about the nitty-gritty of it. We're all fans of baseball players, but these are families and people that have to actually physically move. And, it's great of you to share that with us. Thanks, Steve. I go back to the MLB Fans app. Yoenis, what it is, wants to know, is there any value in why you picked number 31? Does it have significant value, or was it just the one that was available?
Yeah, that's pretty random, actually. I grew up a Boston Celtics fan, but I was a basketball fan in general, and Reggie Miller was my favorite basketball player. So anytime I had the chance to wear 31, I would do it. And thankfully, my first year up in the big leagues, I was number 66, and prior to that, I always tried to be 31. So the next year, 31 opened up, and the clubhouse manager asked me, "Hey, do you want to change your number?" I was like, "Is 31 available?" "Yep." "All right, change it. 66 isn't a good number, so let's get rid of that. Let's go to 31 and see how long I can have it on for my career."
There you go. That is all the cities involved and the player that you had tipped there for that number. That's a great story to understand why 31 is the one. So there you have it. Great question from Yoenis on the app. And there you have it. Sometimes the number works out. You got to take some time, but you get to that. Another fan joins us here in the cage. What's your name? What is your question for Steve?
Hey, Steve. I'm Daniel Wilkins from South Jersey, and my question for you is, what is the hardest part of being a closer or a bullpen pitcher in the MLB?
Sure. I'd say there's a couple of things that come to mind. One is, you never know when you're going to pitch. As a closer, you kind of have that idea, so you can prepare. Obviously, if your team's in the lead with a run to 3 runs, you have a good shot at closing. But to be able to do that every single day, some days you're going to be out there where you have to throw for your 3rd day in a row and you don't feel your best, so you have to put all that aside and just focus on how you can get those last 3 outs despite feeling your best. And at times it can be challenging. Last year was tough for me. I wasn't feeling my best with my hip. For a while I was just grinding it out, not really saying anything, and that I started to get kind of hit around a little bit, try to make some adjustments. It didn't work out, and that's just part of the game. You just have to find your new 100 for that day and go out and compete the best you can. And the hardest thing to do is to do it when you don't feel your best. So I'd say that's probably the biggest challenge.
Daniel, thank you so much, young man, for an excellent question. Steve, thanks for insight on how that works for you. And the new 100 is a phrase that's going to stick with me after this one. There's no doubt about that. Well said. That's a coaching line for sure. Another fan is in the cage. What's your name? What's your question?
Hey, I'm Steph, big Mariners fan. Used to live in Ballard myself, but I have to ask, what's the best part about pitching in Seattle?
Other than the spacious ballpark, which doesn't seem so spacious because balls are flying out left and right here. Honestly, I'd say this is like probably definitely top 3 favorite ballparks in the MLB anyways. So just to be able to come here and call this your office, to show up to work every day in this ballpark is just truly a blessing. So, yeah, it's spacious. It's fun to pitch here, but also when you come to especially a weekend series, when the place is packed out, it gets loud here, and the adrenaline rush is incredible. And it's been the most fun I've had playing baseball for sure since I've been on this team.
All right, Steph, great question there, talking about the Safeco and the gorgeous stadium that is. That's Steve Cishek. Steve, I know you talked about you're at the office. You're at work. You took some time out of your work day to come hang out with fans. You have a good time?
Yeah, I had a great time. This is fun. We can do this again.
All right, we will hold you to that one. In the meantime, get back to work. I'm told it's time for you to get back to work, so we got to let you go for that. Thank you so much, Steve. A real pleasure talking to you. Fans, as always, thank you for making my job a delight and so simple. We'll see you on the next round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage.